Beautiful morning, beautiful sunrise. It was probably a little bit prettier before I got out of the house. I'm a tiny bit late, but not by much. And it's not going to get too hot today. In fact, it might even rain. I am prepared with a garbage bag in my backpack to dump all my stuff, like my camera, into it and just get soaked. I don't carry a rain jacket. I'm not worth it. And the rain here is not that cold, although it can get pretty chilly if you're wet for a while. So it's not, I try and avoid getting dumped on, but what am I going to do? Stay in the house? Not walk around? I guess if I was on my own land walking around, I'd have spots to get out of the rain when the rains came heavy and just hang out there for a while. So once this place is all built, this problem will go away. But I get bored just walking around in circles on my land and all my trails are grown over. I want to talk about something else. And that is, should I go fast or should I go slow? Now, people love to tell other people what the hell to do. And I generally tune them out completely because they're annoying. But today, I intend to walk to town relatively slow. Or, well, we'll see. But lately I have had a couple cases where I tried to walk to town. This is a town about, I don't know, with the route I take 6 kilometers or so. See, I got my phone, I got my camera, I got my GPS, right? I'm all set. All teched out. I'm a tech bro. God, I hate that term because I spent my career in technology and I don't really see myself as much of a tech bro. I was in a group once of a bunch of Christian guys who were in software, and they played basketball and I went and played pool with them and stuff, and they were males. They were more stereotypical male than I am. I mean, I'm 100% male. There's no female side. But I leave myself open to whatever experience I want to have without calling it female. It's bullshit. Strict gender roles are why there's so much interest in being transgender, is because people feel locked into their their gender roles. So we can just skip all that shit and not go around being chest-pounding, dumb fuck, violent men, or prissy, weak, sycophantic women that lie. So let's just forget all that shit and try and be good people. Not everything has to be fucking genderized. Anyway, that's not the point. Should we go fast or slow? I want to get to town, and I guess I would rather get there faster than not, because I'm not sure when I'm coming back. And in this case, I actually want to walk around town slow. I have an ulterior motivation for that. Well, it's not very ulterior if I say it on video and publish it. But I want to walk around with my GPS in town, and I want to look for properties which are distressed. Lots where the building is, not taken care of and nobody lives there. Or that maybe never even had something built on in the first place. And maybe some lots next to a house that, if you bought the house and you bought the lot, you would have this really great yard in town. A private courtyard. That's luxury, to live in town and be able to be outside in some shade with some birds, and that just seems like a great option. Also around town, since town's fairly centralized in the way it's built, there's lots and lots of land next to town where you could actually build an entire new eco community. Now, I always think of, let's go away from town as much as possible, be off-grid, which you could still be off-grid next to town, by the way. Totally doable. But, I always want to get out far, 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 because that's what I've done. But most people aren't like, oh, these doves up there. This is a rare kind of dove. There's 2 of them. And they're coming back, supposedly. My friend told me that he didn't see them as much before. He saw him when he was a kid, and then there was less, and he's old like me. Then now they're coming back, and they like my place, which I'm thrilled about. Like, I want doves to like me. See, they're up there. They're not, I don't know what kind of dove they are. I got a book, I could look them up. And this camera is not going to be good enough for you to see them. Let's see, they're light brown in a dove shape. When they fly, you see a little bit of white along the edge of their tail. Okay, that's cool. And when they're just seated, they just flew away. They're in a tree over there now. They don't want to talk to me because I'm noisy and human. Fucking speciesists. Anyway, so what I want to do is take my GPS areas and make maps online. This all got cleared out. See this was all hard to pass with a car. I've complained about it before, but my friend, I hired him and he macheted it all out. And ultimately I want to fill this in with dirt here so you can cross through, because this is all going to fill with water in the rainy season. And it's going to be a pain in the ass to get through. And there's already there's big gullies in here and stuff. So people with a normal car wouldn't want to come here. Sorry, I get distracted. This is going to be one of those days. I've got all my batteries charged up. I got space on my cards. So I'm just going to talk and talk and talk to the little box in my hand, which is you, I guess. Aren't you privileged to be able to spend time with me? That's a joke. I'm really confused with how to be funny, because I want to say things. I say ridiculous shit all the time. I'm laughing most of the time, or I'm pissed off. Even when I'm pissed off, I think it's funny. I mean, there's just fucking no point. There is a point. I want to change the entire world and make it better. But you also just have to realize that ain't going to be happening. The world is doomed because everyone's trying to fucking destroy it. So, oh well. What can you do? So anyway, I want to identify these places because I would like to recruit more cool neighbors to live near me, even if they don't live right near me. I want to recruit people who have projects, who aren't, just retired. I mean, I could set up a whole retirement community. That's fine. I could set up an assisted living place, a place out in nature where people are, they're really done with being active and stuff like that. Although I know old people that travel around, so I'm not stereotyping old people. And of course, where am I headed? I'm headed towards oldness. So anyway, but some people do want to live in town, and so I like this idea of a vision of eco villages next to town that do offer business opportunities to serve the town, that don't compete with the locals. Anytime you bring in outside people, you're causing a potential conflict. And that conflict can be predicted, it's very predictable, and you can avoid it. And you can make sure you're a positive impact. It's a win-win relationship with the town. So that's very important to me, and that's one of the reasons that I don't particularly want to say where I live, because I think it's the best place I know of in the world. If you really take all the factors and make a big equation for what best means for a person like me, or like the kind of people I want to attract, it is filled with opportunity. It has some flaws that might bother some people, but those people maybe shouldn't live here. And it would be great for the economy of the area. I think that bringing in outside people, often there's issues of gentrification, but also that's a lot of bigotry too. Like where I come from in the U.S., people hated people from another state who were all moving to their state. And you see that now with Californians moving to Texas, and stuff like that. And it's just all this localism, and it's like nationalism, it's bigotry, because all these people are fucking individuals, right? And they have very different ways of being. And to stereotype people just because of where they're born, or their skin color, or whatever other demographic attributes, is really dumb. And I think almost the worst culprits of this are people who do that to themselves. Like they pick some demographic attribute of themselves and then they build their whole character around it like that's their most important thing. Fuck that shit. You got tons of attributes of all kinds. Be a fucking individual. You know, you're a combination of everything that came before you, of everything you've ever experienced, and maybe you are actually intelligent and powerful enough to make choices in your own life about who you want to be. Wouldn't that be nice? We'd have a lot better people, and they'd be happier too. But you know, if you're going to center all of your identity around your national origin, your cultural setup, your spiritual setup, your sexual orientation, your generation that you came from. Like people get like, I'm from generation whatever. It's like, who gives a shit? What kind of person are you? Do you have any personal identity at all? Do you even have a fucking personality? Anyway, so lots of people do this, and then they say, oh, I'm in this community of people. I'm special because of this. And it's like, you know, the constant desire to feel special and shit. And I understand that. I am actually a freak. I am fairly special. But that doesn't mean shit. Who cares? You know? I don't give a fuck what race I am or gender or national origin or spirituality. I'm not going to focus on it all the goddamn time. And I understand that we can't, you know, I mean, we're going to do a little bit, but if that's all you got to offer is your demographic identity, you're probably a bigot. Now, of course, it depends on what you do with that identification, but I mean, you could be proud of your heritage, for example. You know, where your family came from, or the history and culture of where you come from. But that really quickly, and I've seen over and over, can turn into bigotry. And we all know, you know, that that's really terrible if you're white and proud of that, or you're proud of, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, being proud of being indigenous, for example, even though you're probably fake indigenous, since you're not First Peoples, your people took over a place and then they got taken over by somebody else, and that's before colonization happened. This happened all over the fucking world. You know, nobody's really fully indigenous, hardly. I mean, that'd be a good question to try and figure out is, are there any groups of people that can really trace their lineage back to the first people who showed up in that area? And also, who gives a fuck who got there first? That just doesn't fucking matter. How do you treat people? How do we build freedom? Because all this shit is promoted by people who are anti-freedom, organizations that are anti-freedom, to try and control you. They want you to fight with other people. They want you to not fight against them. Not see the slavery of the state wherever the hell you are. They're trying to distract you. Can we like have a nice, calm, relaxing day? This gets back into the fast, slow thing of like, do I really have to be like forcefully pushing myself through life? Or could I briefly at least relax? And the fucking answer, unfortunately, given the brain that I have, is really hard for me to do that. And I'm not normal. Whatever the fuck I am, it's not normal. And that's okay. I've accepted that for my whole life. In fact, I revel in not being normal because normal people bore the shit out of me for the most part, and they say dumbass things that aren't true, and they don't read or study or know anything. They're kind of a pain to be around. But I would like to be a functionally, vaguely comfortable, happy person, and probably comfortable to be around as well. I mean, a lot of people have been around me. I mean, I've always understood, like, when people are like, that there's a certain dose of me that they want, and they don't want more than that. I'm very sympathetic. I'm overdosed on myself. I don't want to hang around with me all the time. And this leads to things like drinking too much alcohol, which I currently am not doing, which means it's hard for me to go to sleep because I don't have a way to shut down. And I have sleeping pills, which are a way to shut down. But if I don't take sleeping pills or alcohol, I will stay awake for around 2.5 days without sleeping. And then somewhere in there, I'll crash out. And that's extremely uncomfortable, especially if the nights are long and dark and you have no one to talk to or do. And then you crash out, and then you're in this cycle where your sleep cycle's off, and then you crash out, then you wake back up after not enough sleep, and then you start it over again, and then you just start living this sleep-deprived life where you're not at your best, really. That's why I need structure in my life. I need to self-impose structure, and that's why I talk about that for a community setting as well, where I think whether you're a freak like me or a freak like other people, it's very helpful to have a structure that helps us operate cohesively together for maximum health and benefit and profitability and fulfillment and creation and all this good shit. And so how we have that structure exist is this constant struggle, because we want total freedom, but total freedom kind of sucks. Total freedom means people are going to abuse drugs. Total freedom means they're going to be obese, because they have all this food that was exactly crafted to be like a drug or like drugs. And then they'll get diabetes, and they'll have bad health, and they'll be addicted to government subsidy systems to pay for their health problems, and they'll think, I have to have that. And it's like, well, you could actually live in a community of healthy people and live healthy yourself, and you could skip about 80% of the problems you have. But that means we have to commit to something at almost a religious level of commitment to better ways of living. And when I use the word religious, immediately people are going to think, oh, a really restrictive, narrow thing. And it's like, no, that's not it. I want massive amounts of diversity, the self-expression, and some of those should only be within certain communities or not, depending on what it is, Like there's communities where nudity is okay or not. There's communities that of all kinds. I mean, I want the diversity. That is not the fucking point, and you're not fucking listening to me if you don't comprehend that. It's kind of frustrating when I talk to people online and they're like, they really want things to be like they are. A guy just wrote online, I was talking about, filtering people and making communities that match up with people. And he's like, well, no, all over the world, people work together and they do all this great stuff, and we're going to do it for thousands of years and everything is fine. And I just don't know where the hell this guy's coming from. How can he look at this world where children are abusive, partnerships are abusive, men and women are pissed off at each other, people rip each other off in business, business itself is corrupt with corporations, money itself is fake, your government doesn't serve and protect you, your police don't serve and protect you, they oppress you, we have oligarchies and plutocracies all over the world, we have wars that totally are violent and earth-destroying and life-destroying wars. I mean, we live in a really fucked up, shitty world. And this guy thinks it's fine. Now, I don't care what he thinks, okay? He's some anonymous fuck on the internet. And he's not compatible with what I was saying I'm proposing. But, why even bother? I don't want to talk to the guy. I thought about just blocking him. I didn't block him. But I probably will later. Because it's just this guy's living in a fucking delusional world. There are people all over the world who are ethnically oppressed. There's people hacking each other up with machetes. There's fucking slave labor all over the place. And if we define it certain ways, you're probably less free than somebody in a feudalist system. You got lots to consume if you live in the industrial world. You live like a fucking emperor. Potentially. But do you own your house, or does this bank own it? Do you have real security in community? Do you have real friendships you can trust? Do you have relationships where you can trust? Are you sexually fulfilled? Do you live in a way that you're not hurting other people? I mean, I wouldn't say you're successful if you're constantly hurting other people. And maybe you don't give a fuck about that. I wonder about these terms like sociopath and psychopath, where I read about them, and I've experienced a lot of people I think fit into those categories, because I've hosted so many people at my home. But I kind of think we're sort of all ultimately very self-centered by nature, which is unsurprising. We live in ourselves. We see out of our view. And most people have never made a really concerted effort their entire lives to break out of that centralized view and see things through the eyes of others, to develop actual empathy for other people, to reduce our judgment of who other people are and the weird decisions that they make that make no sense to us. Like most people make no sense to me. Their total promotion of war. I mean, in the U.S., for example, like everybody, a lot of people, the noisiest and most obnoxious ones, hate the other side so much, and are totally unwilling to see the absolute total evilness of their side. And I'm just like, I'm going to tune all these fuckers out. You're all gone. I'm going to find the people who have a higher level of thinking, where they have a perspective that, okay, we're all in a fucked up situation in different parts of it, in different ways. And it sucks to live in it. You're trapped in it. You're, constantly paying bills and stuff. I mean, I don't pay utility bills because I live off grid. I've not paid a utility bill in 21 years. That doesn't mean I haven't paid for shit. And they're not bills, but it does mean I have to do a lot more work actually to get my needs met. But I've also solved that by having less needs. That's another matter. It can be made more comfortable. It's very hard as one person to replace all of society. It's not going to happen. Unless you want to live like, you hear stories of people who just totally live apart from everything. There was some family in Russia that was just completely gone off in the wilderness for a long time. And, some guy on an island by himself. And you got your hermit out in the woods who never even goes to town, hardly ever. Even those guys go to town and get some supplies, usually. But that isn't the goal. That's not what serves most people. And I don't know your family situation or your friend's situation, but I know a lot of people that are not socially fulfilled. And those are solvable problems, I believe. So... anyway, fast or slow, I guess, how fast am I going right now? The problem is my brain's going fast. Okay, but I could walk slow. Yes. No. Because I want to go to town and GPS these properties so that I can then make a list of properties I think are buyable, right? Because they're underutilized. And make lists of properties around town that I think would be great investments and potentially communities close to town. And they could be hooked up to the grid, I guess, and they could be hooked up to water. But as soon as you do that, you're in a system that it's very easy, like it's like taking easy drugs. It's very easy to become dependent on it. And legally, probably it may obligate you to other things. Business-wise, it could be really great. Because there are people investing in this town. I believe in this town. There's people constructing. There's people who work elsewhere and are planning to retire here. It's lively. It's a really vibrant little town. And so... there are economic opportunities here. There's also a lot of opportunity to create new economic opportunities, and that could be one of the goals of the community, is to, support and develop different kinds of industries, to take products produced in the town and sell them elsewhere, to export them to other places. That seems like a great idea for everybody's, winningness. You could create businesses that don't exist in the town. You could create businesses that bring outside people in for workshops and longer term experiences. Not just a hotel. I mean, there can be a hotel, that's fine. But I don't like the idea of short-term tourism. I don't think it's worth the energy expenditure of the travel. And if you want to fly around the world, burning up tons of fossil fuels, and seeing a place for a brief period, that's fine. I have friends that do that. But it doesn't fit in with the values I wish to live by, or the ones I wish to support. I mean, it does not bother me they do it. That's their choice. The whole world's doing it. We're all destroying the fucking planet one way or the other. So I'm just not that judgmental. I don't want the role. But if I'm going to support people moving near me, I would like to collect people who have similar values to me and have a commitment to the community and aren't just out to use other people. Now, you might say, well, what a, discriminatory prick. Hola, hola. Pretty sure I look like a freak walking around the woods, yelling at the camera. I could even speak softer to the camera. The microphones on this camera are fine. I think part of it is I have done plays when I was a kid, and I've done some theater and some movies and videos, just a tiny bit. And I think you learn to project. But I don't think I really need to yell at the camera so much, which I do all the time. And I get excited. I get very excited. I do this in person too sometimes. And also I have hearing problems. That doesn't help. People with hearing problems often speak too loud because, they do. And actually there's some people who speak kind of loudly to me because the truth is I can't hear them otherwise. Like I was in a vehicle the other day with somebody, which I rarely am in a vehicle with someone. And I was in the back seat. There was two people in the front. That never happened. That's the first time that's happened in a decade. I don't know. Anyway, the guy in the driver's seat was talking to me. Couldn't hear what the fuck he was saying because his mouth's pointed the other way. Also, I can't see his lips. So that doesn't help because I do lip read a little bit. I don't formally do it. Like you couldn't show me a video. I don't think I could transcribe what they were saying with no audio. But I'm pretty severely handicapped when it comes to hearing. And, even my mom, when I was very young, not when I was super young, but when I was an adolescent in my 20s, she told me I need to get hearing aids. Not she, me. Because she would see me talking to people, or she would talk to me and see that I was missing shit. And I'm not aware of it because it's me. And I live in me. And so, it's very hard to be self-aware of your own problems. But I really actually do need hearing aids if I'm going to talk to people again. Or we just adjust to each other. It's not that bad. I'm missing high ranges, both ears. I had my hearing tested and all the high pitches are just blacked out. I don't get the high pitches. And so that means it's harder for me to understand people. If there's any background noise, like in a car or a bunch of people talking and there's echoing noise off the walls, and I just don't do well in those situations. So, oh well, I don't know if I give a shit. I certainly don't give a shit enough to do anything about it right now because there's nobody around, and the few people I deal with are used to me. It's not like we're yelling at each other. Well, I don't know. Maybe I do talk too loud. I don't know. Fuck. I definitely talk too loud on this camera. Sorry. A lot of it's just excitement. Can I be excited in a more mellow way? No, I don't think I can. I think the excitement just raises my volume. Anyway, so what else about this task of this? So we've got multiple tasks here. One is mapping, finding the properties, and everything's for sale at the right price. Locate the properties, GPS them, look at how they relate to the properties around them, because those may be purchased to increase the value of that property. And then contact owners, find out who owns them, contact the neighbors and say, hey, who owns this? And don't do that in a way that raises the price. Do it in a really mellow way, so not through me. I'm well known, and so it'd be somebody else. Oh, this fence is having a problem. What happened here? Well, somebody will fix that. Not me, because I don't give a shit. But the part of recruiting people is the harder part of finding people from all over the world. In fact, I would like to not just recruit people, for example, from the culture I'm from, and people who are like me. Sometimes when people say, get a bunch of like-minded people together, they think that everybody's going to be the same, and it's like, no, that's not the goal at all. You're missing the point entirely. I would love to get people who speak all kinds of different languages. We could even start a language school. We could start a language school that included like sign language and included, seriously, languages from all over the world, languages that are in danger of being lost. We could have a linguist or more than one who studies languages. I mean, that's a little out there. Like, I don't know how that's going to make any money, but it does save part of our cultural heritage, which is language. Language is like losing, if we lose a language, it's like losing a species. It's losing something that we may not know how important it is. You know? I mean, you know, if some kind of species of mushroom goes extinct, what do you care? And maybe it doesn't have a big impact on the ecological system. Or if one species of birds die, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe if a language dies, it doesn't matter. But those things may have more value than we know. There's like bugs everywhere on me. You know what kind of bugs these are. God damn them. Fuck off, bugs. You're bugging me. And so the point is that in gathering these people, we could be bringing more cuisines together. We don't have to have the people to do that from that culture. Anybody can learn to make like really good Indian food or something. But how cool would that be for the culture of this place if we had more styles of music, if we had more styles of food, more stuff? You know, I mean, some people talk about cities, like the reason they like cities is because there's all this cool stuff and diversity of stuff to do. And it's like, well, we could do that. It's very annoying. I can't even see, they're tiny little fucking flies. If you can't see them on camera, I probably just look nuts. But trust me, these are not fake insanity bugs. They're also impossible to catch. All right, fuck this shit. I'm getting the first town up here anyway. But anyway, there's some initial morning thoughts for you, and thoughts for how to invite people here, maybe, and a little bit about who I would want. I mean, I'm thinking like young families, ambitious people with cool projects that are ecological, that people who can work online, people who are retired, people who are independently wealthy, as long as they're not going to use that wealth to fuck up the entire place, because that's what some people do. Some rich people are clueless, and not all of them, but we might need a retraining program for some people spoiled by too much wealth. Anyway, adios. Up in here, you can see a bunch of dead cedar trees. That is a forest hazard, forest fire hazard. And it's a result of a couple of years without enough rain. It looks like this year is going to have enough rain. That's a really great thing. But it indicates that we're not immune to drought here. And that's a serious problem. So we have to prepare for that. We have to do full rain capture. We have to plant a greater diversity of trees that are drought tolerant. In fact, somewhere I have a book that is just trees that are drought tolerant. And I have to look through that again and see if any of them are useful trees I like. I think I already marked the ones I liked years and years and years ago. But somehow I got to get those trees here, because in the worst case, there's enough climate change that all of the trees here die. That would suck heavily. Heavy suckage. Not in a good way. And so we have to plant anticipating climate change. Anticipating things will change. See the future. Because that right there, I mean, cedar trees do fine around here. I've never seen them die before. In decades I've been here. So that scares the hell out of me. It should scare the hell out of anyone, wherever you live. Right here. So right here, there's blackberries. These are native blackberries, and they're very small. They're not Himalayan blackberries. Here's one that appears to be ripe. Not quite ripe. Still pretty tart. But you see how they grow up tall. There's a ton of them up there. We could train these blackberries. We could cut pieces off of them and try them from cuttings, which I think we tried before, but we didn't try very well. Because I don't have a ton. I mean, I've got some that showed up, and they come in bird poop. The seeds do. It's currently the end of March. I think it's the last day of March. March 31st. And so the beginning of February is when we should be collecting blackberries, raising tons of them from seed, and also in whatever time of the year, perhaps when they're dormant, we can try and do cuttings of them. We can then also grow them to a thick and big enough level, even fertilizing them to get them going, really thick rootstock, and then graft onto them Himalayan blackberries, which we can also grow from seed. I know where we can get Himalayan blackberries. So there's a bunch of them in here. If I was hungrier and it wasn't a really hot day in the hot sun, which I'm not into very much, then maybe I'd pick them and eat them, but I just want to go home. My leg is killing me. My right calf is cramped up as fuck. Like super cramped up. And I have problems with my legs for reasons that I don't feel like talking about right now. But I'm on it's going to end up being like a 14-kilometer walk today. And I thought it was going to be cloudier, and there are clouds. Look, there's clouds right there. But they're not covering the sun. And so the sun is beating down on me, and I'm sweating, and it's a little uncomfortable. It's all right. I don't really care. I mean, I have to walk or die. And I actually took a break from walking because I walked too far in the city with the wrong shoes. Oh, a cloud just came over the sun right as I entered some shade of a tree. Well, geez. Stay there, cloud. Where's that cloud? I can't see it because there's a tree. And these blackberries go way up in the trees. They're very aggressive. There's also native grapes in here. Also, we could graft. I have some grapes, which I should have watered to get more grape material, great grapes, and then I should be growing native grapes and grafting onto those. There's just too much shit to do. I can't deal with this, It's okay. I'm doing the best I can, but I really actually need help. I need partners in creating what I envision. It's one of the reasons I make videos, and those can be synthesized into outlines and to-do lists and projects. And some of those projects will inspire people, and there could be products that come out of it that actually make money. Or, since money is actually not directly my goal, value is, a lot of projects I do won't be financially successful right away, but they will be successful for survival over the long term. A lot of things are going to change in the world. Fuel prices will keep going up. All sorts of stuff will change. Goddamn, I'm not even close to home. I haven't even gotten to the railroad tracks yet. So I'm like far, far, far. It's all right. I can take it. I can take a lot of pain, actually. Anyway, it's exciting to see these plants right here. And it's very important I make a list of when things fruit, because I can grab those blackberries and make seeds or make plants out of those seeds, and I can remember where they're at, which I should be GPSing this, but I'm not, because my GPS is in my backpack and I'm tired. Just want to go home, and once I get home I have about 5 gallons of gasoline left, so that needs to get me through the next, probably till Tuesday. I'm not sure. And I gotta get cash to buy gasoline too. So it's tricky shit, but the goals are good. I'm pumped up to do great things. The cloud is over the sun. Look. That is a beautiful thing. Goodbye. This is actually a really awesome grove of trees over here. This is all cedars. All this is cedars. you notice how their lower branches die, and so you can cut around the cedars and have lots of foot space around them, but they get great shade. It's very shady in there. It's kind of dappled shade. And I actually have taken some cedars and then topped them off so that they branch out more and you get more lateral branches. I cut off the main trunk, and that keeps the shade closer down and denser. And so I got to get better at that. Also, I could make climbable trees where if you can get up to a certain branch level, then it's really easy to climb up the other branch levels. So I can sculpt shade. And underneath, there could be spots for camping, for sitting, chatting, a fire pit. You could put a steel bar across it that is the tree grows around, and build a roof around it so you'd be out of the rain and the sun even more, although the goal is to make natural shade. But this is a pretty cool example of what happens when a cedar grove is just left to grow. Unfortunately, as we saw earlier, some have died because of the drought. These ones are okay. And you can harvest these as poles. They're really good as poles for building. So you can grow your own building materials, but I'm imagining a grove right now just for comfort, and one that you mess with the top of it enough that, I mean, I don't know what happens after you do that for a while. I mean, does it still end up being too crowded and die? Or can you kind of bonsai an entire, plaza filled with trunks of trees and shade and really nice, and run water through it, and then grow an understory of really cool plants? And I don't know, but this is a educational grove for teaching us what our options are. Google Maps is failing me. This is the road to get to my house, the official road. The actual road you can pass is down there. That's the road you can drive on. This one gets even worse up there. I'll show you that. Maybe I'll walk up there. But first I want to show you this cool agave plant. There's hundreds of kinds of agaves. This one's really spiky. We'll just not get hurt by that agave. Luckily they're really mellow plants, so they don't jump out and attack you or anything. But I'm walking up this trail, and I actually know a guy who works at Google, and he visited me, and I should send him this video. And I should send him, well, he knows where it is, because he came to try and visit me, and he went on this following Google Maps and then got stuck on it, called me, and luckily I was online, and I said, oh, back up. Just back up. Go to the big road that looks like people actually use it, because nobody uses this road. I don't even know how it's in this good a shape, really. But up here, they actually dug a water pipe right down the middle of this old road. This used to be the road. And I have submitted changes 5 times to Google saying, I dragged the little points and everything, and I'm not a totally ignorant dumb fuck. And I drag the points, and I say, hey, this is where you should actually have this road, because this is the road people can actually drive on. Because this is what the road looks like right here. It's a gully. It's a gully and a pipe, a water pipe that goes to town, below the railroad tracks. Nobody can drive on that. Even if you had a 4-wheel drive and you loved to go off-roading, you would not be able to drive on that. Yeah, you're not going to fucking make it. And so Google is dumber than me that it will not accept my fucking correction. And down there at the bottom of this hill here, I'm going to have to put a sign that says, Google is stupid, go left. My sign is smarter than Google. That's what I have to do. And I don't know who I have to mail or whine. I mean, I'm whining on this video. Hopefully somebody from Google will say, well, where the fuck is this place? And contact me. And it's a minor issue. It's only a small spot in the whole world. I know nobody cares about me or where I live or fuck anything. But, I mean, people literally cannot fucking get to my fucking house because your stupid map fucking sucks, you dumb fuck shitheads. Rich motherfucking pricks, ignorant shithead fuckers. Sorry, I'm not very good at insulting people. That's all I got. But I mean, it especially pisses me off when geeks fuck up, because I'm kind of a geek myself. You know, I've been a geek for a long time, and it's like, you know, I'm trying to fucking help you help other people. I'm trying to have you have good maps. And I've submitted it 5 times, and then you just ignore it. You fucks. And I can't invite people over my fucking house and expect them to actually arrive. Now, granted that I'm a weirdo hermit who doesn't want people to come to my house most of the time, but I'm preparing things so that I would like them to arrive in vehicles. On roads. With maps. Fix it, motherfuckers. And no, I'm not going to publish on this video where I live. That's kind of the point. I don't want to publish my road to the public, because then I'll get unexpected visitors. I don't want those. Maybe this is good. Maybe I should be happy that I have a way to keep people the fuck away from me. But this is not how I want to do it. I want to be able to send people I actually like something other than they have to drive up this piece of shit, because they're not going to fucking make it. The top of this doesn't get better. So, God damn everything. This is one of the plants I murder. This is pokeberry. Pokeberry. I don't know the scientific name of it. See, it has a red stem. It's really easy to break it. Like that. Just break it off. You can just take a machete and kill it. It lives in places that have been disturbed. It likes shitty soil that has been disturbed. It has these really attractive little berries on it that you should keep children away from, because it's highly toxic. And you should not give this to your rabbits or your chickens. There's a bunch of other plants that they can eat or not eat according to their desires and interests. But in my case, on my land, we're not on my land, I kill the fuck out of this plant. It has no purpose on my land, and it's not endangered. It lives everywhere else. No, I don't feel bad feelings about murdering the shit out of a plant. I'm not a sensitive pseudo-spiritual fuckwad. I'm not going to kill this one, of course, because it's not my land that I'm walking on right now. It's actually probably federal land or some other government agency land. Because it used to be a road, but it's not a road now. Here's more of it. See how big it gets? That's a lot of poisonous plant there. I've only got 2 other poisonous plants that grow in my forest. And one of them I might actually be able to make something useful out of, but I also have occasionally had dumb people through, and they think harvesting out of the forest is this being in one with nature kind of bullshit. And it's like, a bunch of nature would be perfectly happy to murder the shit out of you. So don't go eating random stuff. That's an actual rule. I talk a lot about rules. One of the rules is, don't harvest anything from the forest unless you're trained. Because you might hurt it, or it might hurt you. And there's plenty of shit out there that'll hurt you. There's mushrooms that grow in my forest, they'll kill you. Seriously. And I've only had under 10, maybe only 5 or so, dumb fucks who think, oh yeah, I think it's great. Nature provides all these wonderful, beautiful things, and I'm just going to eat them. And multiple people have gotten sick from doing that. And in other cases, they haven't gotten sick. I think, well, 2 people I know have got sick. And the other ones I just thought were stupid, and I lost all respect for them as people. It's not totally their fault. They grew up probably in cities, and they weren't told, like, don't be stupid. I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't want them dying on my property. That's inconvenient for me. So when I'm walking around, I find a lot of weird stuff. I found broken pieces of glass from a television somebody threw out. They were thick, and I kept them because they look cool looking. I picked up seeds of all kinds. I just picked up one from a very drought-tolerant tree, so I'm going to plant those, and I don't really even know if I want that tree. I'm not even sure which tree it is. I think I know the name of it, but I'm not going to say it because I only know the local name. But this is a rock I found, right? A rock. And it was broken up on this road here by a car wheel. And inside it's purple. See how it's purplish? Very purple. Kind of a deep purple. There's more of it right there. So I'm going to keep this rock. And I have that in a different spot in the forest. And I don't know what the hell is different about it. Like, why is it purple? Is there something weird I could do with it that's useful? Because other rocks aren't that way. Look at this rock. This rock is gray if you break it open. It's very gray. Here, I'll put that one in my bag too, just as an example of what purple rocks are not. And there's a black rock. And I don't know. Like, where'd that rock come from? Was it brought in to pave the road? No, I don't think so, because I have it on my property. I love picking stuff up off the forest ground. I collect bones and dead shit. Oh, god damn it. Is that my dog? Oh, fuck no. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. There's a water thing over here. It is fenced in. Okay, it's like emergency and shit. Yep, my dog has fallen into a big thing of water. Hey, fucker, you're stupid. Now let's save your ass. Alright, this is fucked up. See, my life is too complicated, and now I gotta figure out how to even get over there. And keep the other dogs out of it. There's one dog that's not in there. That's good. There's a big fence here, because it's fenced in, which is good. But, like, how do I get through a fucking place that's fenced in so people can't get through it? And if I leave my dog there, it's steep sides that are plastic, so my dog's going to die in there. So I declare immediate emergency mode, and I also declare that my life is kind of stupid. And it's because other people are stupid. Like, if you're going to build a goddamn fence to keep animals out, build it good enough so they can't get in. And also, if you're going to make a thing of water, don't make it so shit can die in it. Make a way for them to escape. Okay, so here's a locked gate. Here's a barbed wire fence I have to climb over now. You motherfuckers! Fuck. Okay. There is no choice. It's either that or give up on this dog, because that dog is not going to make it out of there alive. I can guarantee it. Is this locked? Let's make sure I'm not stupid. It will be locked, but yeah, it has a big... No, the lock is open. Somebody didn't lock it. Oh my god. Maybe they're in there. That would be even better, because then they can fucking help me. Okay, this is great. That's one fence I don't have to figure out how to get through. Alright. Okay, don't lock me in, you fucks. In fact, I'm going to take that lock. I don't want to get locked in here. Alright. Now, if there was somebody here, it'd be great. But I'm trespassing with a goddamn reason into this orchard. And I'm moderately injured still, and especially today I'm exhausted, so this is all not looking great for me. But the problem is that this is going to be a fenced-in water thing. Also, I'm on the wrong property. That's not good either. So that means even though I went through that fence, luckily, I have to go through another fence, which may or may not be worse than the other fence. I have no idea. Okay, this looks like a place to cross up here. Fuck. Okay. I can leave my bag here. Oh, this is just all grown over in there, too. There's multiple walls to get in there. Fuck. Okay, is there a fence lower down? Is my dog already dead? Hey, how you doing? Relax, don't die. Fucker. Alright. I mean, once it's dead, it's like, I give up. I don't care anymore, but I really like that dog, and, you know, I try and keep my dogs alive. Okay, down here, maybe there's a spot I can get through. If not, then I have to walk down there and find some other way through. Stupid fucking dog. Alright, this is not going to happen. And the thing is, anytime you're doing something weird like this, you can get injured. And I'm already moderately injured. So, like, it's just risk. It's just more fucking risk. Alright, maybe I can get through the barbed wire right here. It's not the most convenient spot. And I'm really unflexible still, so. Okay. Get rid of this shit. Wonderful news. Look at this bitch. She managed to get herself out of there. She's got a bunch of crap on her legs and she doesn't look injured. That's good. Hopefully she doesn't do that again. Hopefully she's a learning animal. But the nice thing is I don't have to try and get through that barbed wire fence. And then whatever fence is over there around that that water thing that needs to be improved. Oh, fuck. You motherfucker. Don't do things. It's like, that's a rule I have to make for anyone I associate with. Don't do things. Which the more elegant version of that rule would be, don't do things without knowing what the fuck is going on. Alright, so not an emergency anymore. That's very good. I'm happy about that. But it once again reminds me of what a weak position I'm in. I'm just not in a good position to handle problems. And being alone is the worst part of it. Not having cell phone signal. Not having a plan B for anything, really. And just, I mean, it makes me tougher and more creative. That's good. You know, I've had so many things happen that are emergency level. Goddamn, look at all these pines that died over there. It was a harsh couple of years. They don't die the first year in drought. They die after that. And from here, I can see this other whole hill over there. It's actually a really good view of that whole hill. I'll show it to you. This one caught on fire this last year. And I'm actually surprised more of the standing trees aren't burned up and fallen down. So that fire still went along the ground, mostly. I'd love to talk with the owners of that. That's all part of a big land trust. And, you know, given the state of their forest up there, they might as well, you know, bulldoze contour trails and put in tourist view spots, because it's just these two hills up there. There's two peaks. And they could easily make, like, you know, spots for hotels or something. And the problem is they're a land trust, and so the individuals involved in the land trust don't have any motivation because they won't personally profit. And that is one of the problems with personal land ownership, is that individuals don't, there's no individuals who are motivated to maximize profit of the land, which is also a benefit. It's a little fucked up. It's like if it's cooperatively owned, then and it can be misused because no one has the motivation to protect it. If it's individually owned, then it could be abused because someone will take individual profit from it. I'm not going to lock this gate because it wasn't locked when I got here. Alright, how do I do this? This is fucked up. You go over there. You go over there. I'll just leave it like I found it because maybe there's somebody in there, and I guess they have keys probably, so it's not going to lock them in accidentally. But still. Also, if you have a gate, like if this was my gate and someone went through it and didn't lock it, I'd be kind of annoyed. God damn it. Alright. I'm trying to be a good person and give a shit about other people. But they don't make it easy, you know? One person's fuck up becomes damage to other people. Let's see what I'm doing here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got it back in the state that I found it, which is how you should generally leave gates. If the gate's open, leave it open. If the gate's closed, close it. And the default actually on that should probably be close gates, because somebody can always reopen it. Now in this case there's a lock involved, so that does change things a bit. God, this walk is a long walk. There's more dead trees up here. Fuck. It's now 11:33. But the clouds are back over the sun, so I'm happy again, yay. Except, you know, even though I say I can take a lot of pain, it doesn't mean I don't feel the fucking pain. I feel a lot of pain right now in my legs. And they're worse than they have been at other times. Ultimately, I need like physical therapy level stuff. I mean, it's been 6 years since the accident, 7? I don't even know. I have to look it up. And I walked my ass off. But I'm not very flexible. And everything's danger for me. It's, you know, and I know I'll get unsympathetic comments, which I'll probably not approve unless they're intelligent, which most people overestimate their intelligence and helpfulness, especially the ones that bring spiritual gods into it or any bullshit. Like, I mean, you're welcome to pray for me. Go ahead and pray for me, fine, but your God is made up bullshit, so fuck off. Okay, I can make it home. I'm not as far as I was. Still pretty fucking far from home. That's alright. Okay. Dog did not die. That's what matters. And where's my other dog? The white one. Because I was down there walking home, and I haven't seen that dog for a while, and I petted that dog way down there, and I wonder if that dog got distracted. The problem is my dogs don't understand some people are bad, and so somebody could like give my dogs food and then steal my dog easily. I need fencing. I don't want my dog going to me to town unless like I have control over them. And I thought I had control over them. I've walked down to town many times with my dogs. There's that fucking car involved with that gate. Oh, that's funny. I don't know those people. I don't like people I don't know. Alright. Maybe if I can just get home and then like, I didn't think it was going to be as tough a walk today, actually. I thought I was going to go into town, get one thing I want, and then go home. And for some reason this walk has become a bit more arduous. And it scares the fuck out of me if a dog's almost going to die. And then my other dog is missing. I mean, at the moment, I see 0 dogs because they're off doing shit that they shouldn't be doing for the most part. They should be like here guarding me because I'm their dog god, which normally they do. They're fucking wonderful dogs. They're great. I'm just whining for fun. Alright, well, I'm going to go again for now and just keep fucking walking. Look at all this. All this is pokeberry. All poisonous pokeberry. And look at this. This fence post was burned. What happened here? What happened was a forest fire. It burned these trees right here. That's why they're dead. It burned all this. And pokeberry likes to come in after a fire, which is fine for the soil, as long as you don't eat it or feed it to your rabbits or chickens or your kids. It's actually not a bad plant. It's, restoring the soil. It's doing good things. It's not a bad plant. Some people would say this is an invasive plant because it invaded this area after the forest fire. I would say it's a healing plant, as long as you don't eat it. I should eat a berry just for fun. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I am a science experiment, but I'm not a stupid one. I hope. Some people might watch some of my videos and question that. But anyway, I'm not going to do it. And they're really pretty. They look edible, don't they? They look tempting. And I'm kind of thirsty, hungry, and tired. But no, I got limits. I safe word on that plant. One of the few benefits of being a guy is right there. I can pee on the ground and make designs. It's a small consolation for being a victim of the matriarchy. Being part of a gender that holds all the jobs you die in, and sometimes you're sent off to kill other people on purpose, while supposedly you're the oppressive gender, which I suppose you are as well, but I'm not really sure there's one that's more oppressive than the other. Of course, there's a lot of women who really don't want to say they're victimizers, even though they will use the power of the state and their control over men to fuck men over entirely. Happens all the time. And there's plenty of men who understand that because they watch their lives be destroyed by women. That's how it goes. It'd be nice if we could get men and women together who don't want to play these games and they recognize the various sides of that system and actually want to be good people, not focus on their gender as being that important. Because yes, there's challenges to either one. There's also evils to either one. So let's catalog those. Let's get rid of them and get the good people together, because they can have a fucking good time. A really fucking good time in a responsible and safe way where everybody benefits. Doesn't sound good? Instead of just being for your gender and hating the other one? Be nice. Big black gate right here. This is 2 properties down from mine. I'm almost home. If I bought this land and that land and added it to the forest, then it would be approximately twice as big. A little bit less, maybe. There's maps and border lines and stuff. But this would be amazing because the road to get here isn't that bad. The road from here up keeps getting worse. It gets worse, and if I even was able to buy the other property, that would help a lot. That'd be 150% improvement. This one way over there has a big orchard, and so it would cost more because they're hoping it goes into production at some point. It's not old enough to go into heavy production yet, and they will actually, once it does, improve the road to here. But anyway, these would be like stretch goals for any kind of crowdfunding effort because I could turn this into a much bigger town space. I could do a lot more with it. That'd be very impressive. I want this land, but I have like barely enough to buy dog food, gasoline, and pay for internet. So I have to partner with people who have similar values to do that kind of thing. And I don't know if there's even a single person in the world that has my values and is also a person who has resources to do such a thing, and also is trustworthy enough to actually do it instead of just acting in their self-interest and treating it as an investment to get richer and richer. That's not the fucking goal I got. But that's what I want. Hi, honey. Where's your brother? I'm pretty sure her brother is a really smart dog who went home. Or is lost. I don't want to find that out right now. I'm just going to go home. And it's a really nice, smart dog, so I'm pretty sure he'll be there. But anyway, this is all land that's fairly similar to mine. I would actually develop it in a similar way to mine, where I would, consider all the topography and the water flow and make ponds. I haven't done that yet, but I know where I want to put them. And figure out where roads should be, and it's not necessarily where they are now. And then figure out how we can use it to maximum benefit. I mean, I have a whole philosophy of design rules that I am developing. And I don't know if they're totally smart or stupid, but I've had a lot of time to think about it, and I have made changes to the land by cutting trees and moving dirt, and I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm very open to other people's opinions who are more educated and experienced than I am, but most of them are inexperienced. They're experienced in the wrong way. They're experienced on how to maximize short-term profit on a piece of property. I'm not interested at all in that. That's like, I consider them devil, demon, bad people. I want to maximize long-term utility of people living in tune with the land and increasing the biodiversity. That's approximately opposite of how anyone else in the fucking world thinks, except maybe a tiny group of people, and I'd like to chat with them, but only if... I'll read their books, but unless they're going to be personally involved, I don't care about what they think. I'm tired. I'm really tired. I'm like sweaty, hot, tired. There's some dark clouds up there. That's a good thing. Maybe it'll rain. But I'm almost home now. Like, I only have to go, probably about another kilometer to get home, which is nothing. I'm going to make it. Now, what I said earlier about pain, I don't know if I agree with. I said I can take a lot of pain. Actually, I don't remember what I said. But I definitely feel pain. It's not like it doesn't hurt. And it's not like I don't care exactly. It's just that life is, by definition, pain. Or in Hinduism, all is dukh or dukkha or something. I don't know how to speak Hindi. But, you just, what are you going to do? Whine about it? I do whine about it sometimes, but whatever. Just for you, so you can feel superior. You just got to keep walking. You just got to make it home. You just got to take care of other people, increase your awareness and your empathy, and also just not give a fuck. Suck it up, buttercup. Because a lot of people think that, life's supposed to be comfortable because they were raised too rich. They grew up in the industrial world. Even there's a guy, he's a singer, Tom McDonald, right? He's all tattoos and stuff, and I like that he's an independent singer, totally impressed. But he did a thing about Memorial Day, I think it was, and talking about the troops and how important they are, that they protect our freedom. And it's I don't know, I just watched what's the movie called? Fuck. My brain's pretty fried from this long walk. I just watched it last night. I'll put it in the comments if I don't remember it. It's something really basic. It's a one-word title, and it was done this year in 2025. Military? No. Force? No. Anyway. It's a nicely done movie about the experience of some U.S. soldiers, presumably in Afghanistan, being where the fuck they shouldn't be. And I guess I'm supposed to have empathy for these people. And when I listen to the Tom MacDonald song, I'm supposed to have empathy for these soldiers who bring us freedom. And I'm like, maybe these soldiers are sent to places oppressing other people far away from home, far away from their mamas, in places they shouldn't be at all. And yeah, I don't want them to suffer as individuals. But what the fuck are you doing invading other people's goddamn countries? I mean, sure, if you can overthrow their government and make people free, great, but we don't really do that. We haven't done it in Latin America. If you look up U.S. military incursions or U.S. military somethings in foreign countries, on Wikipedia, you're going to find out the U.S. military has gone on little violent picnics for a very long time. And they've murdered a fuck ton of innocent people doing it. At the very end of that movie, you see the military pulls out, right? And they only had 2 guys get killed, right? And how many other people got killed during that interaction? You know, blowing up all these people and shit. We don't know, because they don't even show the point of view of those people. Those people aren't important. And those people are in their home. Now, whether those people are good or bad is unclear. Somebody's coming down here on a bicycle. That's weird. Hardcore biker. That's cool. So, no more than... I just don't understand how so many of my supposedly kind-hearted, nice, liberal friends, whatever the fuck liberal means anymore, love violence. They're perfectly happy paying taxes to murder the shit out of people all over the world, and they give it no further thought. That's freedom for them. Tom MacDonald is a fucking hypocritical, ignorant shit or something. Something's wrong with that fucker. And I'm really, I've used him as an example of how music can be independent, and I like that. You know, he's got all these tattoos and shit. Great, have tattoos and shit. Wonderful. You know, and his music seems all right, and I like that he likes his family, and he's self-produced and stuff. It's all cool. But has it not occurred to this guy, or the millions of other Americans who love war and violence and death, has it not occurred to them the murder that they create constantly? How many governments have been overthrown that had some, well, they weren't necessarily good either. I mean, I'm not defending who America's fought against. In some cases, like, I mean, I'm not pro-Taliban, for example. I'm not pro really any governments at all. So maybe it's me who's fucked up. I'm just anti-oppression in general. And it just pisses me off that people who are from the country I'm from are so pro-war and violence and death. I've met people who have been murdered. Their families have been murdered by them. I've seen people murdered by the wars. I went to war at 19 years old as a photojournalist, and I saw dead children. That kind of changes your perspective on shit. And they were murdered by the Soviet Union and the United States fighting over control in a country that, yeah, they were fucked up. And their philosophy is entirely fucked up. And maybe there was some good war or some effort the United States could be in that's good. But it doesn't seem like there's been a lot of that. It seems like there's been a lot of unjust oppression occurring. And so when I see like this rampant patriotism, like America's great and shit, it's like, well, you know, I love America. I love the people. I love the land. I love the innovation. I love lots of stuff about the culture. But the government that they have allowed to exist in their name is traitorous to the very principles it was founded on. It is an unconstitutional, illegal government. And all you have to do is read the fucking Constitution and then match that up with behavior, and you know that. And I know that you could have an excuse if you're an American. And I know that a bunch of European pricks or dumbasses all around the world are critical in unjust ways. But this is criticism coming from a person who grew up in the United States and loves the United States. And I love the Constitution. I wish we would follow it. It astounds me people are so pissed off at Trump all of a sudden. Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a buffoon. He's doing things that are probably illegal. What the fuck you think's been going on your entire life, you fucking prick? You murderous piece of shit. You've been supporting evil your entire life. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, you want to call people Nazis and shit? You're a fucking good Nazi. You know? You think you're Antifa? No, you're pro-fascist if you want more state control, which is what you promote. You're anti-free speech. Just fuck everybody. Fuck everybody. Fuck you. Goodbye. This gate is a gate that goes to a road that goes that way, south. And eventually it gets to a big ravine, not that big, but big-ish, then on the other side of which there's a cool road that's really big and cool. And I'm very near home now. And so if this became a real road that went all the way through, this goes through a land trust, mostly. I don't understand who owns all the land back in there. But if that was a real road, people could get to my fucking house a lot easier. And it would be a big difference. I would still have to fix this road, or buy the land that this gate goes to, which connects to the other land I want to buy. It's all fairly confusing, but this is fixable. I mean, it's not very far. It's really a shitty road right there, but it's fixable with bulldozers and concrete and shit like that. But I would not want to do this road project. I would not want to talk to the people who own this road unless I already had purchased a bunch of other land out here to protect it. Because what would happen is it would open up land to development. So I'm actually anti-development until I can get development to occur that I'm in favor of. And that's one of the reasons I want to meet thousands of people very carefully, which is hard to do things big scale and careful. I want to meet thousands of people who have similar developmental goals and values as I do. Look at how fucked up this road is. To purchase this land and develop it in a way that enhances biodiversity and blah, 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 all the crap I say, while people also enjoy it. All rain capture, all off-grid, raising your own food. The fuck is that piece of shit? God damn it, I'm almost home. I swear I'm so close to getting home now, and it's feeling like rain. That dark cloud. It's definitely gonna rain, and I'm thrilled for it, but I really don't feel like being in it. Also kind of hungry. I've not eaten much today. Did I drink coffee? I think I did. I think I'm running on a pot of coffee. It's 12:16. And, food. Fuck food. Fuck everything. Anyway, I don't want that road yet. But I want to design it. I want to figure out how to cross that ravine. Like where we would bulldoze it so it wasn't stupid. Because when people design stuff, it's often stupid. But it wouldn't be hard to design. It's really easy. And the people with the land trust could actually benefit from it. But I know that it would open up a whole point of entry to get to me that I'm not ready for. And the other thing is I'm going to die. So I got to make shit occur, but carefully. I can't even tell people about all my plans because I don't trust them. I don't trust anybody, really. Fuck. I fucked up, dude. Goodbye. As I arrive home, there's dogs barking. And I'm not sure why. It's my dogs, I hope. And I always worry when I leave home what's going to happen to my home, because there's nobody there. I don't know what I'm walking into, but I have no choice. I could die. Probably not. You just never know. God damn it. Trying to use your phone left-handed is fairly tricky. God damn it. Okay, Google Fit says I walked 19,273 steps. I think. Isn't that how that works? Wait, it says I only burned 1,731 calories? I went 8.32 miles. My move rate per minute was 282. I did stop for a while and rest. And it shows me how I've done. It's started at 7 something. I'm done at 12:32. And if I look at my monthly map, it's a decent sized dot. And it looks like it's been a little over a week since I went to the city and walked a lot, because that took a lot out of me. It was a hard walk. And so one of the reasons today's walk is so hard is that it was such a hard walk in the city. But I got to keep going. That's all I can do. Bye.